Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm doing a Halloween look and this is a galactic themed look. So I'm obsessed with space buns at the minute and this whole kind of vibe. I actually took inspiration from this girl, so if anyone knows who she is then please let me know in the comments below so that I can credit her accordingly. So I've got my base done and my brows done and I'm just popping some translucent powder under the eye to catch any fallout. I'm going into my Morphe palette and I can't remember which one this is, but I'll put it in the description, and I am just using this colour all over the lid as a transition shade, all up to the brow and all over. And then I'm going into my Dare to Create Morphe palette, using this really bright pink shade to continue to just kind of warm up the crease. And then I'm going in with a more defined, smaller like pencil brush just to really deepen up the crease, and then blending it all out and blending it right up to the brow bone. And then I'm going to kind of mix these two colours and start to really define the crease again, and just to start to get that nice and deep before we cut the crease. So I'm just going to blend that out. Just make sure there aren't too many harsh lines at this stage and it is all nicely blended. You know I love a blend. So I'm just continuing to blend and build that up. And there's lots of blending in this. You know, it wouldn't be one of my tutorials without lots of blending. So I'm taking a angled brush. Yes, this is a MAC brush that I did step on I think last year and it snapped, so I've sellotaped it back up together. But anyway, I'm taking this really kind of deep royal navy blue, it's a navy blue, to continue to deepen up the crease, blending it out. You can see what I'm doing. I've joined it up as well in the outer corner, and then I'm taking my primer just to cut that crease. And basically this is just so that we've got a base that the shimmery shadows or the, you know, these neck shadows can actually stick to and come through. So I'm using this nice purpley, I'm just obsessed with this colour actually. I used it in my clown one that I did the other year and I love it. So then I am taking that all over the lid and then going a little bit more defined with this lighter one in the inner corner, and I'm just turning the brush over to distribute the colour evenly because I used the darker colour on one side of the brush and then the lighter on the other. So I'm just turning the brushes over so that it has a nice blend, and then deepening up the outer corner with the shade that I pointed to, and then continuing to deepen up the outer corner again with these, but we still want to keep that nice blend going. So topping up everything and then going back in with the angled brush with that blue just to make sure that we haven't lost that line completely. And then I'm kind of again making sure it is nicely joined at that point at the end and making sure that it kind of blends in, if you know what I mean, blends into the outer corner and just blending out nicely. So I'm taking this Kiko glittery eyeliner and I'm going to line that cut crease so that it has a little bit of a sparkle to get us in that spacey mood. And then once I've done that on the outer corner, I didn't actually want it to be that glittery. I still wanted it to have that gradient. So I just kind of blended it all together. And again, more blending, and took this other glittery eyeliner, which is blue. Thought that'd be a bit more, just thought that would work a little bit better in the outer corner. And then I tight lined my top and bottom waterline, and then brushed away that translucent powder. So then I went under the eyes, but I wasn't sure if I was going to actually do anything galactic under there, so I just kept it nice and simple to start with, and I thought if I needed to then I would build it up again after I had done all the crazy stuff on my forehead. So you can see what I'm doing, building up in the outer corner, similar kind of to how we did on the top, and blending it all out. So I popped a little bit of a black liner on the top just by my lash line so that the false lashes had something to go on and kind of hide the lash band, and also just put mascara on the top lashes and popped these on. Now onto the scary bit. I was really out of my comfort zone with this, so I kind of went for these colours, just dabbed them there and just started putting it all over my forehead. So the trick is to start light with the lighter colours and build it up. And then I thought, you know what? a blusher. That's meant for your face. So I put a blusher on. Now my tip for you with this is start with an area that you're comfortable with, or a technique you're comfortable with. So I'm comfortable with contouring and I'm quite confident with that, so that's why I started off contouring, and then I took my contouring brush just to really start to build up the cheekbones and build up that area, because I thought if I know what I'm doing there, it's just different colours, isn't it, rather than your usual bronze. And I did put quite a lot on my nose throughout, but I've cut that bit because I actually just ended up going over it with my sponge and I ended up getting rid of it. So I'm not going to show you what I did with the nose, but I will show you everything else. So then I'm going in with the pink, bright pink, tapping off a lot of it. It is very daunting, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm building up the colour slowly, and this takes a lot of time. I'm bringing it up onto my cheekbones as well, because what I wanted to do was I wanted it to be nice and light pink at the tops of my cheekbones, and then it to have a really nice gradient down to where in the hollows of my cheekbones it was going to be really deep and dark, and I really wanted to keep that nice gradient going. So yeah, I brought it up onto my forehead, and just like you normally would with contouring, just building it up slowly. You're gonna have to be patient with this one because it does take a lot of time. So once I had kind of got that contour going, I went onto the forehead and just went a bit random with random pockets of colour that I wanted. I mean, it does look like I've been bruised or beaten up for a while, but this look gets worse before it gets better, so stick with it. So yeah, I was just kind of, I mean, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just colouring random bits of my face, really. It is quite random, so be creative and just don't be afraid to go for it. So then I'm going back into the colour that we have on our lids to start to build it up again. So I'm doing exactly the same thing. And then I'm just going in all of the different spaces that I didn't paint. I didn't do pink. And I decided that I wanted above my brows to be pink, like the picture of my inspiration. And then just carried on deepening it up and just building it and building it. And then again, I'm just filling in all of the gaps with a little bit of a deeper colour, just so that we've got a little bit of definition as you would normally in the sky. So again, continuing to deepen it up, and this isn't even the darkest colour yet that we use. This is the bit where I really looked like I'd been beaten up. And as you can see on my nose, I did take it all down my nose, but you will see in a bit that I just get rid of it with my face sponge. And then, okay, this is the deepest colour that we're going in with, so this is the last one here, and I'm just focusing that mainly on the hollows, and then I'm taking the hollows of my cheekbones, and then I'm taking it into the hairline as well. I want to make sure that it does blend nicely. Oh, here we are. So this is me just getting rid of that nose colour, but it does actually have a nice gradient on the nose, so it might be worth putting a little bit of colour on there and then blending it away with the sponge, because it does create that kind of nice little gradient. I wanted to have a nice sharp contour, so I just kind of did that with the translucent powder and then brushed it away when I was done, and then started to highlight. So my nose took a beating when it came to the highlight. I really highlighted her up, but I'm just going into the sleek palette to highlight all of these areas, kind of like you usually would do, but that's what I like about Halloween. It's all a bit extra and it's all a bit extreme. What I didn't like about this highlighter is how it was glittery, but actually for this look it's perfect. So I just went to town and thought it would be perfect to add to the kind of night sky effect on my forehead. And then I went in with another highlighter and just continued to do the same thing, highlight up the cheekbones just to add to that gradient and so on. Now is the scary part. So I would recommend practicing on your hand beforehand like I did. I'm taking this little liner, it's like a silver eyeliner, just to kind of dot around first. So dots you know, are quite simple and safe, and they look like stars. So go with that first. That's what I thought I would do. Just kind of go along down the bridge of my nose, along my eyebrow, and then just randomly around to get a feel for it. And then you can go in with the paint. So this is face paint, and I had a go on my hand to start with, and I just went for a simple star. I just thought, let's go for that to start with, and you will have to build it up, especially if you're using face paint like I was. You will have to just build it up over time, but you get there. Confidence is key. Just go for it. But yeah, I realised quite quickly this is going to take some time. And then I filled in my scar on my forehead and just continued to make some shapes. This is where you kind of have your own creative control. You can just do whatever you want, wherever you want, and there are no rules, and I can guarantee you it will not look the same twice. So don't worry too much about it, just go with it. Then I copied what she had in between her eyebrows. She had this really cool kind of like diamond thing going on, which I really liked. So I recreated that, and then I went back into the Morphe palette just to give it a little bit of shimmer. And then I wanted to give it some definition, so I took the pencil brush and did that around it, which kind of made it pop a little bit more. So now for the moon, I was recreating my little tattoo. And then did some more stars and just kept on going. This is a big one. She's got a big one on her head there, so I kind of wanted to put those big statement pieces in where the lighter colour was so that they stood out a little bit more. And you know what? You can go forever doing this, but I kind of decided that was enough for the white, and then I went in with the glitter and just thought I would sparkle it up a bit, because it is quite nice when you turn your head and you get that little shimmer. So I was kind of highlighting and adding some definition to what I'd done, and just adding some extra little pizzazz. Like I say, there's no rules. So once we'd done that, I decided it was safe to go back under the eyes and just blend that out a little bit more, because I wasn't doing anything crazy under the eyes. So just, yeah, blended that out, and then put some mascara on my bottom lashes. I popped a gem on the inner corners. I thought that was super cute. And then just obviously added a little bit more, because, you know, why not? And then I wanted to go for some glitter, so I opened up eventually my glitter glue and went in with these. These are iridescent ones, so they didn't necessarily have a specific colour. They kind of just, you know, took from the light, which I thought they were quite nice. Oh, and then I wanted to go in on my hairline, because it would just help it blend a little bit more into your forehead. So I thought that was a nice little touch, which I noticed on the picture. Anyway, I continued just to glitter up my face, but yeah, I thought these worked quite nicely because they picked up on the colours that were on my face, and I added them quite subtly. I didn't want to go too extreme, but I wanted to have a nice little subtle bit of highlight, just, you know, to emphasise that on the cheekbones. Then for lips, I had a little bit of a mare with the lips, I'm not going to lie. So I plumped them up a little bit to start with my Wonder Kiss lip plumping gloss. And then I lined them, and I wanted to just keep them plain and simple, as I normally would, kind of, you know, like an everyday nude. So I lined them and then popped on my NYX liquid lingerie. Then I thought it was a bit too plain Jane. So I then decided to do a little bit of a kind of ombre type thing. This is a Makeup Revolution lip kit, and then kind of, yeah, ombre it out a little bit. I just blended it in, and then I added a little bit more highlight to my Cupid's bow. And then in the end, I just went over it with the rest of the NYX nude, but I think it did add a little subtle ombre, which you can give or take. And then obviously set it all into place because you don't want that to move throughout the night. Obviously shimmy it off. And that is the completed look. Thank you so much for watching. I am so chuffed with how this came out. I am obsessed. I didn't want to take it off. I just couldn't stop looking at it. So I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a comment below and let me know what you are going to be for Halloween this year. As you guys know how much I love it because it's my birthday the day after. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a like if you liked it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!